There it goes. Oh no, there goes the tree. Oh, oh, wow, that one's...
Severe weather swept across Texas hill country, bringing intense rainfall that triggered widespread flooding across a large part of the region. Powerful storms caused rivers, creeks, and drainage channels to rise rapidly, turning normally calm waterways into dangerous flows. Roads were submerged, properties were affected, and many communities faced difficult conditions as emergency crews responded across the area. Flash flood emergencies were issued in several locations as officials warned residents about rapidly rising waters.
Come on!
The massive flooding also brought tragic consequences, with authorities confirming that at least 2 people lost their lives as a result of the extreme conditions. The disaster affected multiple parts of Texas hill country, including Uvalde County, Kerr County, Kendall County, Gillespie County, Blanco County, Burnet County, Llano County, and other surrounding areas. The main cause of the flooding was extreme rainfall that fell over a short period of time. Texas hill country is known for its hills, valleys, rocky landscapes, and numerous waterways, which can cause water to move quickly after heavy storms. As rainfall continued, rivers and creeks across the region rapidly increased in size, creating dangerous flash flooding conditions.
Oh my God.
In Uvalde County, the city of Uvalde and nearby areas experienced significant flooding impacts as heavy rainfall moved through the region. Rising water affected roads and low-lying locations, while local officials and emergency teams monitored conditions and assisted residents as floodwaters continued to change the landscape. One of the most closely watched areas during the flooding was Kerr County, where communities along the Guadalupe River faced some of the most challenging conditions. Kerrsville, Ingram, Centerpoint, and nearby communities experienced rising water levels as the river and surrounding waterways responded to the intense rainfall. The Guadalupe River became a major focus during the disaster as water levels increased dramatically in a short period of time. In parts of Kerr County, the river rose more than 30 feet within only a few hours, creating dangerous flash flooding conditions near communities and forcing officials to closely monitor the rapidly changing situation.
Holy shit.
We are flooding so bad we've lost all of our enclosures.
In Kerrsville, footage captured the scale of the flooding as water spread through areas near the river and affected parts of the community. The rising waters created hazardous conditions while emergency responders worked to assist residents and warn people to stay away from fast-moving floodwaters. The flooding continued eastward into Kendall County, where communities including Bourne and Comfort were also affected by heavy rainfall. Water moved through creeks and drainage areas, creating flooding concerns on roads and in lower-lying locations across the county. Further north, Fredericksburg and surrounding areas in Gillespie County experienced the effects of widespread rainfall. The storm system affected waterways and rural areas around the community, while residents faced difficult travel conditions as water covered parts of the landscape.
There's a chair.
In Blanco County, Johnson City and nearby communities also dealt with rising water and flooding concerns. Water from surrounding areas continued flowing into local waterways, creating challenges for residents and affecting transportation in some locations.
I think the helicopter.
Look at this, lapping under the bridge. Come up some more.
Additional impacts were reported across northern parts of Texas Hill Country, including areas around Burnet County and Llano County. Communities near rivers and reservoirs continued monitoring rising water levels as runoff from the heavy rainfall moved through the region.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah. Fuck with that yard. It looks like I'm just
Across Texas Hill Country, dramatic footage showed the destruction left behind by the flooding. Videos recorded by residents showed roads transformed into streams, vehicles surrounded by water, and large areas covered by floodwaters. Locations that were normally dry became a sea of water as the storm system overwhelmed parts of the region.
Literally like the entire tree.
flooded out too. That's crazy.
Many low-water crossings and roadways became dangerous or temporarily inaccessible due to the fast-moving water. Authorities warn drivers to avoid flooded roads as water levels can rise quickly and create hazardous conditions even after rainfall begins to decrease.
This tells you if the Guadalupe is going to flood right here. That's it.
The flooding also affected areas near rivers, creeks, and reservoirs throughout the region. While overflowing waterways were among the main causes of the flooding, the combination of heavy rainfall and the region's terrain made the situation more severe across many communities. Emergency crews from multiple agencies responded throughout Texas Hill Country, carrying out rescue operations and assisting residents affected by the rising waters. Officials reported that more than 230 people were rescued as floodwaters threatened communities and trapped residents and motorists in dangerous situations. The scale of the emergency response was significant, with thousands of emergency personnel deployed to support rescue operations, monitor flood conditions, and help communities affected by the disaster.
It's rising.
For many residents, the days after the flooding involved cleaning up debris, checking damaged properties, and beginning recovery efforts. Some communities faced major challenges as they worked to restore roads, homes, and public areas affected by the rising water.
Is it going to keep coming up, you think?
The geography of Texas Hill Country continues to make the region vulnerable to flash flooding during extreme weather events. Steep terrain, fast-moving waterways, and sudden heavy rainfall can create dangerous conditions within a short amount of time.
And you, sugar.
As floodwaters gradually receded in some areas, attention shifted toward recovery and rebuilding. Residents, emergency crews, and local officials continued working together to repair damage, support affected communities, and prepare for future weather challenges.
That's where the water was. Yep.
The widespread flooding across Texas Hill Country left a lasting impact from Uvalde to Kerrsville, Bourne, Fredericksburg, and many other communities throughout the region. From overflowing rivers and flooded roads to neighborhoods surrounded by rising water, the event showed how quickly extreme weather can transform an entire landscape.
can't even see the other side of the river.
How deep you think it is?
I mean, it's probably 3.